You know what it is. That's right. It's time to talk money with your money nerd and financial coach. Now, tighten those purse strings and open those ears. It's the Money Talk with Tiff podcast.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Money Talk with Tiff podcast. So I'm live again here at FinCon 2021, and right now I have Jaspreet Singh, and I'm super honored to have him on the show because he was the keynote speaker for FinCon 21.
Thank you, Tiffany. It's an honor to be here with you.
Awesome, awesome. And so his brand is Minority Mindset. Now, before you go wherever you want to go with that term, I want to give Jaspreet an opportunity to explain what he means by minority mindset.
The Minority Mindset is a financial education and media company, but it has nothing to do with the way you look, your ethnicity, or your skin color. The Minority Mindset is the mindset of thinking differently than the majority of people.
And that is so important because if you think about personal finance, right? First of all, who talks about it? Right? We don't learn it in school. And so this is something that we have to teach ourselves. And so to have the mindset of the majority, which is focused on credit, making sure that you have the best and the nicest and the most expensive, if you have the minority mindset, you kind of think in the opposite direction. Okay, how can I make my money work for me, save, spend, all of that stuff, right?
I haven't said this in a while, but one of our original sayings was, you give the majority $200, they'll come back with a pair of shoes.
Yes.
You give the minority $200, they'll come back with $2,000. It's that mindset of thinking different of what is it that you want? Because none of us are taught this stuff in school. I didn't grow up learning about financial education, investing, entrepreneurship, any of that. These were things that I had to go out of my way to learn, and I was so angry. Why are we not taught this in school?
Exactly.
I went to school for a lot of years. I never once learned about investing, never once learned about wealth building, yet everybody is going to school to get a paycheck to hopefully become wealthy. But we're never taught that. There's a disconnect there. And that's what the minority mindset is about, is to help people who actually want to be better with their money, be better with their money.
Exactly. And I'm so glad you mentioned that because it's so important. Like, I've gone through, elementary school, middle school, high school, undergrad, graduate school. Still nobody has taught me about personal finance. I've never had a class whatsoever in my whole school career on personal finance. And so if we don't take it on ourselves to learn these things, like me and Jaspreet, then there's no way for us to know, which is such an unfortunate thing in our society.
Yeah, it's crazy. Likewise, I went through college, law school, and you check all the boxes. You think you're doing everything right. You graduate school with a mountain of student loans. Now you're like, what do I do? And this is the thing. It's doing what you love is good, but you need to know how to fund your lifestyle. And there's a difference between financial education and your salary. I was supposed to be a doctor. My parents are immigrants from a state in India called Punjab. And every Indian parent tells their kid to become a doctor. Why? Because doctors make a lot of money. If you make a lot of money, you can save a lot of money. But the reality is, you make a big salary, you pay the highest taxes as a doctor.
Yes.
You pay a lot of money in taxes. You work from January to July just to pay your taxes.
Yes, yes.
You're working your butt off to make some money, but you have no financial education, you have no freedom.
Exactly.
And you need to know what is important. If you want to become wealthy, doesn't matter what degree you have, doesn't matter who your parents are, doesn't matter how you grew up. It's what financial education you have and how much work you're willing to put in. It is not easy, but if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Exactly, and we wouldn't be the minority, right?
Exactly. It's not easy, but it's possible.
It is possible, for sure, and that's why we're here. So FinCon is for people that create personal finance content and influencers. So all of these people here that I've had the pleasure of meeting, they're all here for the same cause. They want to make sure more people are financially literate so that way they can become more minorities, right?
Yeah, anybody who wants to become financially successful has it successful. If you live in a first world country, if you have the ability to watch and understand this video, you have the resources. Now what you need is the education.
Exactly.
Education is important, but a lot of times we assume that the education comes only from the classroom. Look, I went to college. I did okay in college. I did good in college. But what I learned, I don't know what I learned in college. Everything I learned was from outside of the classroom. I was running businesses in college. I was investing in college. And that's where I got the most knowledge. I was sleeping through a lot of my classes. But education is the backbone to your success. The question is, where are you getting that education?
Exactly. So you have two people right here, at least, that you can get that information from. So, Jaspreet, if you can tell people where can they find you if they're interested in learning more about your platform and what you have to show about the minority mindset.
Sure. I mean, you can check out Minority Mindset on YouTube. You can go to our website, theminoritymindset.com. We have a free daily newsletter that breaks down the top finance and business news. It's all at theminoritymindset.com.
Awesome, awesome. And I will say, y'all, Jaspreet is amazing. His keynote was so informative. So definitely check out his channel. I know I'm going to subscribe. So I'll meet you over there. Thank you so
Tiffany.
much for coming on.
You were awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening, joining, and being a part of the Money Talk with Tiff podcast this week. You can check Tiff out every Thursday for a new Money Talk podcast. But if you just can't wait until next week, you can listen to previous podcast episodes at moneytalkwitht.com or follow Tiff on all social media platforms at Money Talk with T. Until next time, spend wise by spending less than you make. A word to the money wise is always sufficient.